Well, they do say it's the hope that kills you, and England's hopes of the World Cup triumph have been shattered again. We dreamed big, we thought we could do it, but it hasn't happened. And now there's questions whether even manager Gareth Southgate will carry on in the job. Charlie, do you think he's of a mind to still keep going through to the Euros, which is only 18 months away?
I'm certainly up for debate, both I think with all of us football fans and Gareth Southgate himself. He's got some big decisions to make. There's absolutely no doubt about that. There are doubts there.
Do you think the fans, though, doubt that he should carry on?
I don't think the feeling towards him is quite as strong as it was before the World Cup. In a funny sort of way, you could argue that England, all they've done is got where they should have been, and that's the quarterfinals. They've certainly not overachieved. They've not underachieved, but I think the way England played was encouraging. But for me, it was still a massive opportunity missed, and one they will regret, and one they should have taken, and they've only got themselves to blame, not the referee.
But he's clearly mulling it over,
Yeah.
Southgate. I mean, genuinely, it's
He
not
is,
a
yeah.
question
No.
of, I think he's going to stay. He's just saying that he is genuinely. And what do you think is going through his mind? The type of things that he's debating in his head.
He's had a rough 18 months, I think he feels personally. I think he feels some of the criticism was harsh in the summer, these 6 Nations League games that England didn't win. Getting booed by the England fans after an admittedly embarrassing 4-0 loss to Hungary in Wolverhampton, and that night in Molineux, I don't think he'll forget. As poor as England were, I think, but you know, it's easy to say, we all have, but I guess he feels that that's the past. But is he going to have another 18 months of it? Maybe he might feel actually everyone's on board. The FA definitely want him.
Absolutely.
The players all want him. And why wouldn't they? Because the ones we've spoken to are the ones that he selected. So you know, you could look at it that way. But I think he's just all round. Does he need a break? 3 major tournaments is quite a lot. I mean, you know, the majority of managers that get knocked out of a quarter-finals of the World Cup all get sacked. So maybe he feels he needs a break. It's certainly not sorted, but it has to be quite soon, Sean. I mean, I don't know what you think, but England are playing in March at the start of the qualifiers. We can't hang around till February.
No, but I do feel it's a team that's making progress, and maybe we're just missing, as Tony Adams has said to us in The Sun, that one little ingredient, something that just gives us that extra spark. I feel like we may have it in Saka, who can just take his game maybe one little notch further forward to be the big game changer. Bellingham maybe to score goals. We have, look, Kane is still a good striker. I don't know whether there'd be many changes in that team, but they do feel like a team that's going forwards, not backwards.
I agree, but you could argue that if you're playing against a team without 3 of the 4 best players, without 4 players that would have started, without 6 or 7 squad players, you need to beat them. And I feel that England should have beaten France. And it's all very well saying, that Saka, Foden have got the spark, but it was their second tournament. We needed to see it last night. Saka played really well, particularly in the second half. It wasn't enough. We conceded a silly goal for the second, didn't take our chances, and I've loved the way England have played, and I don't remember England playing like that well against a decent nation in a major tournament for a very long time, certainly under Gareth Southgate. But ultimately they lost, and bitterly disappointing, and Southgate's going to take that all in. He's not going to make a rash decision, but it is a big decision, as you said earlier. It's not one he's taken lightly, and it really isn't one of these, do I go, waiting for everyone to say, we love you, Gareth, all right then, I'll stay. It really isn't like that. Do you think he should go or stay?
I think he should stay. I think he's still got something in him. I believe that the team can go forward. But what does concern me slightly is that we've had 3 tournaments now where you could argue, yes, we played well, but we failed. And does that become a mindset? We don't have people in that team, obviously, not many, who know how to win the biggest trophies. And do we need somehow somebody who knows how to do that? It's not easy, but where would that person?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and obviously Jordan Henderson was one of those. There's not many Liverpool players, and obviously there's a few Manchester City players with their club in the Premier League. But how many of the French team as well? And you're looking at that side last night. They really were for the taking, and it's going to be a massive regret of the team, I think, that they failed to put that way, particularly as it would have been Morocco. So lost opportunity. And the Euro starts. I think why they probably should keep with Southgate, or he should stay, is the fact that the Euros, not only the qualifiers start in March, when we all go to Naples. England fans will all be looking forward to that. But look, it's in Germany in June 2024, so how many months away is that? Sort of, 18 months? So there isn't a lot of time. There's not a natural successor. I don't know who you'd go for. I mean, I think...
No, I wouldn't.
If
you said, I'll keep him.
Yeah, but if he did go, then we've got an issue. I think I'll probably Brendan Rodgers, I think. Well,
it looks like the most,
if you could,
move.
So, but at the moment, I'm not sure it really needs that shake-up, even though I'd understand if Southgate thought, I'll tell you what, I've had enough. I've taken the team as far as I can.
You're coming over as a bit more negative than I expected. There was a feeling among a lot of journalists that we did play very well, and that this wasn't a tournament we're leaving where we're going, what a load of nonsense, for want of a better word. Drop him, get rid of the manager, as you say, get him sacked. There wasn't really anybody you could criticise in the tournament for playing poorly, of the starters.
No. But Denmark will probably be looking back at the Euros and thinking, actually, we played pretty well, probably maybe even better than England, and we didn't go through. And so, you're just spinning it around there, aren't you?
It's fine margins,
it is fine margin. England were very lucky that Raheem Sterling, got a dodgy penalty in that semi-final. So it is fine margins, but actually you have to overcome. Then England didn't do it, and it's not as though there's loads of new young players coming through. We've got some good young players now, but in Germany, if and when we do qualify, there's not going to be. I can't see many players coming through at this stage.
What would the mentality be for the Euros then? Do you think when we line up for our next games in March and the thoughts of going forward? Do you feel there'll be a feeling of crushing disappointment? How do we change around and think, right, come on, this time
we'll get it right?
We'll get it right. I know.
I mean, look, it's a mindset. Are they going to bring this into the qualifiers? Possibly, hopefully not. It's a nasty game, isn't it? Against the European champions who are going to be wanting to prove a point, having missed out the World Cup. But I don't see there's major options. We keep talking about all these young players coming through, as I said, but at the moment there's not many people screaming that why wasn't he in that England squad? Not really sure. I mean, we've got some good players, but there's not really. It was more, why isn't Maddison in it? And as expected, he got brought into the squad and didn't kick a ball. Would James Maddison have made a difference? I don't think so. I'm hearing people complain that Marcus Rashford wasn't brought on earlier. Well, will he really change the game that much? He'd not played for England for a year for a reason. He's been playing all right, scored a couple of goals, had a great chance at the end and didn't take it. So I actually don't think the squad is quite as strong in depth as what people are making out. So, that is a frustration. But equally, you should probably hope that the manager stays one more chance, and it goes without saying that he won't be staying after Germany.
So that's it. It's over for another tournament. Roll on the Euros, I think.